Warrior Foundation aims to improve the quality of life of veterans living with a brain injury. Here to tell us a little bit more about their programs and other initiatives is Dr. Kimberly Peacock, Education Program Director.
Hi, thank you for having me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So as you just stated, our mission, it is to improve the quality of life of veterans, civilians, and children that are living with a traumatic brain injury. But the other piece of it is also the caregivers, to improve their quality of life. And the organization does that through community integration, education, and advancement programs. So my role with the organization, I feel I have kind of one of the best roles on the planet, which is the Director of Education Programs, is to come up with evidence-based programs that we can bring to our caregiver community. So I get to interface with beautiful people like all of you on a regular basis, and it truly is amazing and an honor. A little bit about my background. I am a military child dependent. My father served in the Army for 34 years. I'm a Gold Star wife. I lost my first husband in Desert Storm. And more recently, 3 years ago, I pinned on the hardest title. I became a Marine mom. So my middle son joined the Marine Corps. So military life is all I've known. It's my family, it's my community. So when I've known Roxana Delgado, our founders, and I encourage you to please go to the website to get some more information on this amazing organization. But Victor Medina and Roxana Delgado, who I've known Roxana for over 15 years now, they're husband and wife, and they're the founders of this beautiful organization. And I say that because it is an organization, and I've worked with many nonprofits and sat on boards, and I can honestly say that this organization was born from the heart. Roxana became a caregiver, and all of you know that the price of admission into your community is incredibly high. And she became a caregiver 10 years ago when Victor was wounded, a little over 10 years ago now. And I watched as they've walked this journey, and I feel they've become just this beautiful example of reclaiming their life, reinventing themselves, and making life better really than prior to injury. You know, would Victor say, hey, I'm glad I got injured? I don't believe that he would, but they don't look at it that way. They say, okay, now what? How can we move this forward? But more importantly, how can we set examples and help our community? And so that's where this beautiful organization was formed a couple of years ago. I like to say we're still a baby foundation, but they're doing amazing things. I won't go into all of the programs that they do, and that's where I would say please go to the website. They do have a COVID response right now if people are in need because of the pandemic. But I'm going to talk just a little bit about some of our programs that we do have going on. Of course, all of our programs now have gone to a virtual platform, which has been kind of interesting. Probably even you guys are experiencing that with this program, which I think is amazing that you're doing this, that you're putting this together for people to come to a spot to learn of resources. It's one thing just to read online about something or go to a web page, but to actually interface with some folks from the organization, I think it brings it more to light. And with TBI Warrior Foundation, I like to think of it as a tapestry that is truly woven through community, through friendship, and through laughter. We think laughter is so important when we come into our programs, and I love hearing that. I love stepping back and hearing caregivers come together and have that moment, that it's their moment and that they can laugh. It's just such a beautiful sound. So it's nice even now to have people, not right now, but when we're in class, we'll ask people, take off your speaker. It's okay if we hear a beautiful baby cry in the background, or we hear your dog bark, or we hear your garbage being picked up. That's life. And we are so honored to be able to, for a moment, step in and be a part of that. And TBI Warrior Foundation, the founders they are adamant about saying that we want to walk this with you. We want this to be a conversation. We don't want it to be, a workshop or a inquiry on the website and then that's it. We want it to be a conversation. We want this to grow and to continue and to be a part of your journey. So like I said, I get the exciting part of designing programs, and right now we are working on, and we have what we call Health Meets Food program. I know right now the world around us feels scary and unpredictable, but you all have already experienced that. It may not have been called a pandemic at the time, but you've experienced the unpredictable, right? The scariness of the unknown. And so I've had so many caregivers say, this pandemic's kind of how my life has been. And so, but I think there's good news with that, because I like to think that there can be peace found during all of this. And if there's anyone that has taught me that, it's Roxana Delgado, finding peace in the storm. As I love how she likes to tell everyone that she dances in the rain. And she does. And sometimes people are like, does she ever have a bad day? Well, she does, but she picks herself up and moves forward. And so peace can be found. And for me, I find that peace, and this is what we're doing with our Health Meets Food workshops for caregivers, is we're finding that in your kitchen, believe it or not. I know some of you are like, that is the least peaceful place for me, but we're actually having fun with that. Cooking is an opportunity to unplug. I know sometimes it's hard not to have a million other things going on when we're in the kitchen, but it really is a time that, you know what, maybe I'm not going to think about that appointment that I have to go to tomorrow, or trying to line up that telehealth appointment, that I'm focusing on what's in front of me right now, which is what's in my kitchen. And it also, it's experiential in that it's hands-on. You're getting to use your hands, and you're getting to experiment with all your senses. So, and you're getting to, I think, make meals that taste better than any restaurant that you could go to. So that's kind of what we do with our Health Meets Food program. We have a class that's a lot of fun called Slow Cooker Secrets. I am a slow cooker girl. Happened many years ago as a single mom with 3 kids and working full time. And I know none of you can identify with being busy, right? It's just, you're all sitting around eating bonbons all day and getting your nails done. So my slow cooker, and I won't ask for a show of hands, but how many, just think about it. Do you have a slow cooker? When's the last time you used her? Maybe it's time to dust her off and bring her out, because she's even great in the summertime. But we come together, and we're going to now begin experimenting. I'm going to kind of put myself out there, and you guys are going to be coming into my kitchen with me. We've been kind of doing it more this virtual didactic, and now we're going to move it past a conversation and going to start cooking together. And I'm sure there will be even lots of laughter with that as we do that. So our cooking series, Health Meets Food, is free to caregivers. Each of the courses, the modules that we have designed, are meant to kind of stand alone. So if you're like, hey, I can join you this month or this week, but then you've got a gap of 3 weeks, it's okay. We welcome you at any time. We welcome your children to join you. We welcome your veteran. We've had a couple of veterans sit by, on the couch and chime in at times. So we love that. But truly our organization, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. And it's just amazing how this organization has grown so quickly. And like I said, I believe the reason that it has is because it was born from the heart. These are 2 people who truly are invested, truly care about this community, care about impacting the quality of life for all individuals living with traumatic brain injury, and especially those caregivers. And so I'm going to kind of do one last thing here. If you ever get the opportunity, and some of you probably know Roxana, some of you haven't had the opportunity to meet her, but if you have an opportunity to ever hear her speak, it's incredibly motivating. And that is what this organization is about, is the motivation that we can do this together, that it takes community to do it. We need to come together and help each other grow, help each other laugh. So I encourage you, if you do go to our the website, you can kind of just sign up if it's something that you might be interested in. Health Meets Food. I will tell you, it's kind of, we're focusing on a plant forward program, but we're not turning anyone into vegetarians, but just that kind of eating healthy to keep us healthy as we're taking care of so many others. I see the beautiful little baby in Nulita's arms. And so you're obviously a caregiver on so many levels, and I'm sure many of you are. So, oh, look at that beautiful baby. So it's about keeping you healthy, because the bottom line is, if you don't take care of you, and I know another speaker recently talked about it, if you don't take care of you, you can't pour from an empty cup. And so I really hope to see some of you in our future cooking classes. It would be great, but please, visit the website. And if you have any questions, happy to talk offline. So thank you so much for inviting the foundation to be a part of this presentation. Truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming. We really enjoyed Roxanne's talk last week, and we really enjoyed yours today. So that's great.
If I can just say, different flavor, but we are so blessed. And I personally, and I have to say this, when Victor was wounded and I was put in that very difficult position, I was so blessed to have Kimberly next to me back in 2009. So, and she was in my life even before then. So I always tell caregivers, if you can find that one gem friend in your life, just stick with her or him, and don't let them go. And I'm very, very grateful and blessed that Kimberly has been with me for so many years. So thank you anyway for this opportunity.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you again. And I'm going to remind, if there's any caregivers on this expo, again, it boils down to reaching out, letting them know your needs. They're catering to your needs. There's not a cookie cutter. If you explain your situation,